is one of them trying to put those together for the veterans. We provide job development contacts. We know the local areas well enough to be able to tell them what they need to do to adjust their lifestyles to the local community. And of course, we do the job placement and job referral type services for all the veterans to try to get them into jobs as quickly as we possibly can.
And there's nobody else that's going to surface to be Speaker. So all this is, this is just a bunch of self-interested Republicans who are quaking in their boots that they may not get reelected for some reason or another. They're not really, most of them aren't on our side. And it is, on balance, a horrible strategy to keep attacking our own when we ourselves are not the enemy.
This is John Lewis of O'Berry & Lewis Insurance. I want to say thanks for the thousands of people who have made our company a success. Since 1927, we have enjoyed serving the insurance needs of families and businesses with consultation, appropriate coverage, and fast, efficient claim service. I invite everyone to find out why so many continue to enjoy the security of insured protection through the many nationally known companies we represent. Call or come by 200 East Spruce Street, Goldsboro. O'Berry & Lewis.
WGBR congratulates new members of the Wayne County Chamber of Commerce. New members include Hazel Bryant, Kevin Sensing, Pat Callahan, Andrea News, Tim Coonrath, Theda Edge, Ann Jones, and Edith Harper, all of Town and Country Real Estate. They've just joined with 700 other local businesses in an effort to advance the general welfare and prosperity of Wayne County. Again, congratulations to the new members. And for more about the Wayne County Chamber of Commerce, call 734-2241.
Hear what everybody's talking about. 1150 WGBR Goldsboro.
NBC Radio News. There's no word of survivors following a horrific mid-air collision between a Saudi airliner and a Kazakhstan plane. As many as 351 may have died when the two aircraft hit each other outside New Delhi. This eyewitness watched what happened.
It seems as if a ball of fire was flying in the sky, and then it fell down, and the large noise was come as if the clouds are thundering.
The two planes reportedly collided at dusk. The Saudi plane had just taken off from Indira Gandhi Airport, and the Russian-made plane was just in its landing approach. A jury in Pontiac, Michigan has found Jonathan Schmitz guilty of second-degree murder in the shotgun slaying of Scott Amador, a man who admitted having a homosexual crush on him during the taping of a Jenny Jones talk show. The jurors opted against the more serious charge of first-degree murder. I'm Barbara Porter.
La Quinta Inns and Suites have 15,000 brand new gold medal rooms we can't wait for you to see. So for a limited time, we're offering a special gold medal rate you won't be able to pass up. November 1st through January, get a new gold medal room for just $49 or $54. Call 1-800-531-5900 now for reservations.
La Quinta, make yourself before.
Offer good at over 100 participating La Quinta Inns and Suites. Some restrictions apply.
Tom and Kate Chappell on Tom's of Maine natural toothpaste with fluoride.
People have very particular tastes. Some people are spearmint lovers, some are peppermint, some love the kind of hot ball taste of the cinnamon, and others are really quirky and like our fennel.
Well, people are different, all kinds of differences in flavors.
And we have a whole range of flavors that people can choose from, and it tastes wonderful.
Tom's of Maine, where goodness comes naturally.
More charges and at a different base as the Army's sex scandal widens. This time, correspondent Joe Walsh says the charges are pending against 3 non-commissioned officers from Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
In a written statement, a Fort Leonard Wood spokesman says the charges range from consensual intercourse to indecent assault or touching. The spokesman says one court-martial is scheduled to begin soon. The others will come to trial in the next month. The Army says the alleged cases occurred at separate times between the summers of 95-96 and appear to be unrelated. They say these cases were ongoing and did not surface as a result of the recently established hotline. None of the cases involved charges of rape or forcible sodomy. Other allegations of misconduct are still under investigation. Fort Leonard Wood is one of the Army's major training locations. Joe Walsh, The Pentagon.
At the rate of 2 inches an hour, snow has been piling up in the Great Lakes states. The new accumulations on top of 4 feet that's been on the ground in some areas since Saturday. No sunshine for Sunbeam employees. From its Fort Lauderdale headquarters comes the announcement the home appliance maker is cutting 6,000 jobs, or half of its workforce. The company will shrink from 26 to 8 factories and will eliminate about 87% of its product line. At this hour in White Plains, New York, civil rights activist Jesse Jackson meeting with Texaco executives to talk about ways of improving relations with the oil giant's minority employees. Jackson says comments made at a Texaco meeting indicate the company's, at the very least, insensitive.
The insults were toward black people, toward Jewish people, and toward people of color. And there are enough of us, in fact, to have an impact to do what? To demand fairness.
Jackson's threatening a boycott of Texaco products. Texaco is trying to settle a $520 million discrimination lawsuit out of court. On Wall Street at this hour, the Dow Jones Industrial Average trading up 14 to 62.69. With NBC Radio News, I'm Barbara Porter.
La Quinta Inns and Suites have 15,000 brand new gold medal rooms we can't wait for you to see. So for a limited time, we're offering a special gold medal rate you won't be able to pass up no matter how fast you drive. November 1st through January, stay in one of our new gold medal rooms for just $49 or $54 depending on location. They have all new decor, big bright bathrooms, and 25-inch TVs with a great entertainment system, plus a free breakfast. With La Quinta's special $49 or $54 gold medal rate, making yourself at home has never been this easy.
Take a good long look, you'll see that sign. The head, neck, exit on the right. There's a place to relax, take that load off your back. The key time, make yourself before.
Call 1-800-531-5900 now to reserve this special rate. Offer good at over 100 participating La Quinta Inns and Suites. Some restrictions apply.
It's pure excitement. It's pure basketball. It's the ACC basketball action and Carolina basketball as Coach Dean Smith and his team prepare for another exciting season. The depth is there. The excitement is there. The pressure defense is coming back. And North Carolina heads into a long season starting November the 17th. And we hope all the way to the championship game. Go with us at 1150 WGBR as we cover the entire season. Exciting, daring, and breathtaking Carolina basketball on WGBR.
Well, our overall pattern isn't changing all that much for the next 24 to 36 hours or so, with an almost stationary upper-level low centered to our north and a surface high up to our northwest. That'll mean sunny skies for us this afternoon. We'll still have that chilly northwest breeze, though. Highs around 45 to 50. Tonight looks clear and cold, lows dropping into the low to mid-20s. And for Wednesday, we'll have plenty of sunshine again overall. We will see high clouds start to stream in from the west late in the day. Highs tomorrow again about 45 to 50. I'm Mike Moss at the Weather Center.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You've got the EIB network, the Rush Limbaugh program, coming at you with broadcast excellence on over 650 radio stations. 20 million people a week tune in. That is a conservative estimate, by the way. We use our bias factor to calculate our audience. People we know are listening, but somehow just escape being tabulated. The audience swells to 45 to 50 million people a week, ladies and gentlemen. We own it.
This is a special edition of the Rush Limbaugh program, America, the way it ought to be. And now, from our studios in New York City, here is Rush Limbaugh.
And here is our telephone number, ladies and gentlemen. If you'd like to join us, 1-800-282-2882 is the number. It's 800-282-2882. Well, the cabinet resignations continue, ladies and gentlemen. Laura DeAndrea Tyson is heading back to the University of California at Berkeley. She doesn't want any part of this administration. In fact, they offered her, I am told, to be the position of budget director. And she turned that down. She rejected several offers from the administration to hang on, but said no, she wanted to get back to Berkeley. Anita Hill's going back to Berkeley, by the way. She left Oklahoma because she intimated in her resignation statement the place was not friendly to her. But I'll tell you what, these... the number of resignations, this exodus, my friends, of cabinet officials is giving rise to a lot of curiosity as to why. Are these people fleeing a coming economic collapse? Are they fleeing all these scandal-related investigations, these ethics investigations? Because, administrations do change, but resignations happening this rapidly are, in fact, somewhat... new. This is unique to have them all go out this quickly. Also, there's this from the San Francisco Chronicle. Actually, it's a Los Angeles Times story. It's been reprinted in the San Francisco Chronicle. The Clinton administration yesterday said that it is considering the possibility of filing a lawsuit or joining a legal challenge to California's Prop 209. The White House confirmed its interest in a legal challenge after the Reverend Jackson met with Clinton aides to seek administration help in blocking implementation of Prop 209. White House Press Secretary Mike McCurry said the administration's response to 209 is a matter of urgent, high-level discussions between the White House and the Justice Department. McCurry said we need to get serious about the whole question. Hey, Mike, you guys are a little late in getting serious about the whole question. But nevertheless, the opposition will be mounted, and I have no doubt that if they can either file a lawsuit of their own or join one, that they will clearly do it. The Reverend Jackson is out making all sorts of demands. For example, he said, politically, the signal is a substantial shift to the right, but we are the Democrats. We won the election, and to the victor go the spoils. That means we want our payoff. Now, for all the troubles we're having in the Republican Party, I'm also here to remind you that last week I predicted, and I'm right about this, that this is a sample of what's going to happen to the Democratic side. And I'll tell you who's going to be fed up. If you notice what Clinton and Gingrich are both doing, you've got Clinton talking about working together in bipartisanship, and you've got Gingrich talking about seeking common ground. These guys are moving towards one another, at least it appears now. And you've got rebellion going on both sides. Muted rebellion on the Democratic side. About the only verbal mutiny that you can spot right now is indeed the Reverend Jackson. But wait till the welfare reform thing that the Clinton's supposed to fix doesn't get fixed, and wait till there aren't that many efforts to fix it, and you're going to see an even bigger rebellion. And I'm here to tell you that there is a tremendous amount of worry and a lot of concern among liberal constituency groups out there that when all these cabinet people that are going to have to be replaced, you watch and see how few of them are going to be satisfactory to some of the constituency groups that think they are responsible for Bill Clinton's re-election victory. I alluded to this in the first hour of the program, and I want to get into this next one in detail. More than 150 state legislators in 7 states are now about to learn firsthand about the welfare system. And the reason for this is that welfare reform now allocates money to the states, and the states will administer many welfare plans. Welfare reform bill shifted critical control from the federal government to the states. States will now get block grants to administer the social safety net of this country. And so get this, to get a feel for what it's like to be on welfare, the legislators have agreed to live on a food stamp budget for 1 month, an average of $75 per person. They are going to share day-to-day experiences with welfare recipients starting today in most of these 7 states. Participants are matched with a family on welfare and encouraged to visit the people at home and at work. In turn, the welfare recipients are encouraged to spend a day watching the legislators at work. This is called Walk a Mile. Walk a Mile, you know that old Joe South song, Walk a Mile in My Shoes. Well, that's what this is. The Walk a Mile project involves these states: Idaho, Maine, Nebraska, New Jersey, Oregon, Pennsylvania, and South Carolina. Each state's program is funded by a grant from the Northwest Institute for Children and Families, which is a research center at the University of Washington. So basically, my friends, what's going to happen here is that state legislators are going to go out there and try to get by on $75 for a month. Now, in the first place, I don't actually believe that. I don't think that's what's going to happen. But even if it did, it is 180 degrees wrong. It is the exact wrong way to go about this. Why are you going to go out? We're in the process here of reforming welfare, are we not? Would somebody like to take a wild stab in the dark at what the purpose of welfare reform is? And I'm telling you right now, if whoever is going to end up running the conservative caucus in the House of Representatives, if they don't get back to articulating what we stand for, then all this is going to be moot anyway. What is the purpose of welfare reform? The purpose of welfare reform is not consciousness raising. The purpose of welfare reform is not to teach a bunch of legislators how to live on $75 a month. The purpose of welfare reform is to get people out of it. The purpose of welfare reform is to teach people how to access the opportunities which do exist in this country, because we, as conservatives and as human beings, find it repugnant that people in the richest nation in the world should live on $75 a month. So we want, because we love them, we want them out of this. We don't want people who feel sorry for them and feel compassion for them, and that's it. What good does that do anybody? What good has sympathy ever done a welfare recipient? What good has sympathy ever done a homeless person? What good has compassion and consciousness raising ever done for them? All it's done is gotten the people who run around and convince everybody that they have all this compassion reelected. That's all it's done. Has it gotten people off the welfare plans? No. And that's the purpose. We know that people are capable of much more than they think they're capable. We have faith in the individual. We know that if you get out of people's way and stop making them dependent on a small little subsistence, that they will find their way, that they are capable of much more. We conservatives know that it is freedom from government constraint. It is freedom that allows ordinary people to do extraordinary things. We know that it is freedom that allows ordinary people to become extraordinary people. And that doesn't happen by sending a bunch of politicians out into welfare neighborhoods to live on $75 a month. You know how to best do this? If you're going to have a program like this, show people what life would be like if they had a full-time job that paid a decent wage. That's what you have to do. You've got to motivate that way. Suppose I'm a welfare recipient. I live on food stamps and whatever other benefits come my way, and let's say, just to pick a number here, that I'm living on $300 a month. So here comes politician A, and he's got this program called Walk a Mile. He's going to live with me for a month to find out what it's like, and after 30 days, he's going to leave. How is my situation any different, other than some guy who claims he didn't understand it before, now understands it? What's that got me? Whoopee-doo. How is that it? Now, it may make me think, and it may fool me if I'm not up to speed. It may, oh man, that guy really cares about me. I think I'll vote for him next time. That guy really cares about me. He experienced hardships like I have. He knows what I'm going through out here. Whoopee-doo. I guarantee you that anybody who's doing well in this country knows what it would like to be not doing well, or to not be doing well, and it's silly. Find a way to take people out of this dependency cycle and let them spend a month somewhere with somebody who's not in the dependency cycle. Let them follow everybody around who's got a job. Let them see what life is like. And let that motivate them. And then say, hey, pal, if I can do it, you can do it too. Nothing special about me. But these politicians all want to set themselves up. There's something special about us. We have the ability to relate to you. This is no different than the phony exercise a number of these guys employed back in the late 80s, kicking the homeless off the sewer grates on a frigid night in Washington and sleeping on the sewer grates themselves, and then the next day waking up claiming that they have more compassion for the homeless than anybody else because they now know what it's like to sleep in a sewer grate when it's 20 degrees outside. In the meantime, the poor guy who sleeps in a sewer grate didn't have any place to sleep that night because some compassionate politician came and kicked him off his sewer grate. So he had it even worse than he normally has it. So now we're going to send a bunch of state legislators out to try to get by on $75 a month to understand what it's all about out there. It's just sick. This is not the purpose of welfare reform. Now, we can do one of two things. We can sit here and start playing the liberal Democrat compassion game. We can sit there and look at these election results and say, well, you know, we got to feel people's pain. We got to let them know that we understand how tough life is. We got to let them know how unfair life is. We got to let them know that we understand that. That's not what we're about. We're about improving the lives of as many people as possible in this, the richest country in America. And the way to do it, because you just look at the successful people in this country. How have they done it? It's no mystery. They have educated themselves. They have found a niche somewhere. They have put in long, hard hours. They've made sacrifices. They've done whatever. They have accepted the responsibilities of life. And some, it hadn't paid off yet, but they haven't given up. They're still in the process. Others for whom it has paid off, and they continue to prosper, however you define that. And I'm not talking about pure economics here, not just economic success. Well, the lessons are all over the place, and they're not going to be found in the halls of Congress. They're not going to be found with a bunch of politicians traipsing around the ghettos and wherever else they're going to go to live on $75 a month and trying to develop a bond of understanding. For crying out loud, if after 40 years we still need people to go out into our depressed areas to find out what it's really like, then we are in worse trouble than anybody thought. If we've actually elected a bunch of people who do not know the scope of the problem and have to go out there and live, this is just a bunch of phony, baloney, plastic, banana, good time, rock and roll, smoke and mirrors. And the solution to this, and the way to, the purpose here, after you win the election, is to advance the agenda. It is not to sit here and start dumping on the man who is responsible for this victory. I dare say that 99% of the people in the House Republican caucus who are demanding that Newt Gingrich step aside wouldn't know what it's like to be in a majority if it was left up to them. The guy who has made it possible for them to be in a majority is now coming under their assault and their attack. And in the meantime, the welfare reform plan, which is our idea, which has decent aspects to it, which is designed to teach people how to get themselves out of these horrible situations, is now being run by a bunch of people who want to just develop common ground and understanding with the welfare recipient. And it is my contention that we all know how those people live, and anybody who tries to tell you that you don't understand how they live and you don't know what it's like, tell them you're crazy. Ask them, why do you think I work? I don't want to live that way. And they shouldn't want to live that way either. And the fact they've been told by their liberal sponsors that they're not capable of any more than that. They've been told they don't have the ability to do any better than they're doing. Well, we don't think that. We think they've got all the ability in the world. We think they have all the talent in the world. We think they have all of what it takes in order to live a decent, responsible life in this country. And if we are going to get sidetracked on this fundamental issue, this is, when you get right down to it, this is just, it's fundamental to our belief base. And if we're going to have it turned over into one of these shows for the express purpose of simply allowing elected officials to show that how understanding, compassionate they are, then the whole thing's not going to work. In the meantime, we're sitting around we ought to be monitoring this program. We ought to make sure that the people who administer this program do it right so that it works, because it can. It's the only thing that really will. And instead, we're sending people out to live on $75 a month so that after the month they can say, yeah, I know how bad it is out there. Oh, it's amazing, folks. You got some people, we've talked about on this program, some people just can't stand success. They're afraid of it. They don't believe it when it happens to them. They do everything they can to test it. And by test it, I mean, this can't be real. I really don't deserve this. I'm gonna subject this thing to a bunch of tests to find out I really shouldn't have won, or I'm really not successful. I'm not really what the people want. Things I believe are not really what the people want. I don't understand this psychologically, but it's obviously happening. Quick break. We'll be back. Some phone calls coming up after this.
You're listening to the EIB Network.
I was wondering when we'd start hearing the customer comments from Select Comfort. Well, listen to some of these. Jeffrey Freeman from Jacksonville, Florida writes, my wife and I were in the market for a new bed, and we heard your advertisement often on Rush. Now, we know that only quality items are advertised on his show, so we decided to research your company. We tried your 90-night no-risk trial program, and after our first night's sleep, we were so satisfied we got rid of the return boxes. Sleeping on air. What a concept. And there's this letter from Anita Fields from Union City, New Jersey. This is the most comfortable mattress and foundation we've ever slept on. I sleep better on this than any other mattress set. I was convinced it was all right when I heard Rush Limbaugh say he had one. Well, you're right, Anita. I do have one, and it is great. You can have one, too. Call 800-GET-A-BED. Get a free 90-night in-home trial. 1-800-GET-A-BED. Ask for the brochure and video. It's 800-GETABED. Select Comfort for the best night's sleep of your life.
Perkins, copy this report. Now.
Right away. Perkins, weren't you getting married today?
Yeah, but I gotta make copies.
The new Mita DC-8090 is the first truly automatic copier.
Perkins, your fiancé's taking your bank account to Mexico.
Staller.
With the DC-8090, you're never stuck at the copier.
Perkins! It's your future mother-in-law!
I'm collating! Save yourselves!
Automatic copying. Mita perfected it. Call 1-800-ABC-MITA.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Rush Limbaugh on the EIB Network. Just checking the email box again. Listen to this. If you weren't here for the first hour, let me basically and very quickly summarize something I said. I made mention of the fact that the purpose in the past 4 years in the show was not to get Bill Clinton ousted via scandal, because I'm not a special prosecutor and I don't take this program to court, and what happens on this court in this program is not evidence. I said what I was doing was doing everything I could to educate people as best I could to the flaws, character and ethical, and the wrong-headedness policy-wise of this administration for the express purpose of convincing more people to vote against it than would vote for it. That having occurred, more people voted for this administration. I said, so what is there now to do in the sense, and I was somewhat agreeing with Clinton or with Gingrich when he said you cannot exist solely for the express purpose of defeating Bill Clinton now when there's nothing left to defeat in terms of an election in the democratic process. This is not to say that we are going to suspend criticism, for crying out loud. It was an attempt to say that Gingrich is right. We cannot define ourselves as a party by having our sole purpose be to get rid of Bill Clinton. So I get this letter. Dear Rush, for the first time ever, we've come to a serious parting. This is not about politics to me. I cannot turn the other cheek because he was elected. The fact that he was elected does not make him any less despicable. I do not, nor will I ever support this president. He has no right to be our leader, and we must be rid of him. You've taken a stand this morning that is far more sophisticated than I am capable of. In fact, you sounded like a politician. Since we no longer agree, you'll do it without my help. Signed, Larry Hamilton. Don't know where Lair lives. He didn't put his hometown here. I've asked you people to do this, by the way. Please let me know from where you're writing so I can send my goon squads out to get you when you are mean to me. No right to be. This is the point. No right to be president. Bill in San Francisco, hello. Welcome to the Rush Limbaugh program. You're up next, sir.
Hey, hello, Rush.
Hi.
Listen, I'm calling in reference to Gingrich's speech last night, which I watched, and I think people are have a misconception of exactly what Gingrich was talking about with going towards the center or the common ground. He kept saying that the Republicans, under his guidance or the Republican Congress, would continue to try to promote the center of the American people's will, and that if that center was also supported by
what he's saying is we are the center. The bottom line is that we conservatives are the center. It's not the wacko right-wing fringe, as that doofus Larry King keeps saying. We are the center. Look at the election results. Look at the issues that pass. We are the center. I agree with that's what he was saying.
Suffering from arthritis pain? How would you like to turn back the clock to before you had arthritis? Well, today you can get dramatic relief with new Capsaicin HP. Capsaicin HP contains triple strength of the external pain relief ingredient doctors recommend most for temporary relief of minor arthritis pain. So stop suffering. Get relief, blessed relief, with odor-free Capsaicin HP. It's like turning back the clock. Capsaicin HP at stores everywhere. Use as directed.
This is WGBR News, Goldsboro's very own.
For WGBR News, I'm Thomas Vick. Wayne County residents in Rosewood Valley, Glenwood Acres, and other parts of the county continue to collect evidence in their case against Willie M. patients. The case has not gone to court, but residents say if something is not done to control these Willie M. patients, they will take their case to court. There are 8 Willie M. homes in the county, and residents who live around those homes say the homes have made their neighborhoods unsafe and in many cases pose a threat to their children. Some residents say they have been victims of violent acts by the patients and their property has been damaged, and residents indicate they will continue to collect evidence such as videos of the acts and continue to seek help from local and state legislators. Implementation is the next step for the Mount Olive Economic Feasibility Study, according to Mount Olive Mayor Ruff Huggins. The study has identified several hurdles that Mount Olive must overcome in the future for successful economic development. Among those hurdles, correcting the town's current sewer system problems and then expanding that sewer system. The construction of a shell building must be considered, and infrastructure must be provided to industrial sites beyond the 6 acres currently owned by the Mount Olive Committee of 100. A master plan for a Mount Olive Municipal Airport must also be considered. Implementation of the plan will largely be the responsibility of the Mount Olive Town Board of Commissioners. 1996 flue-cured tobacco marketing cards are due back in the Wayne County Consolidated Farm Service Office. Office Director Rick Tharrington says failure to return marketing cards will result in a reduction in farmers' 1997 marketing quotas. Tharrington adds producers are reminded to complete the report of unmarketed tobacco when returning cards. Information needed to complete the report will be amounts of tobacco destroyed and amount of carryover tobacco produced and stored on the farm. Carryover tobacco must be identified by farm number if more than one farm's tobacco is stored at the same location. A brand new state-of-the-art $54,000 computer system has been installed at the Mount Olive Police Station. Funds that made it possible, Governor's Crime Prevention Program grant dollars in the amount of $40,000 and allocated town funds in the amount of $14,000. Police officials say the new system will be a big help in processing in a more rapid fashion warrants, crime reports, administration records, and more. I'm Thomas Vick for WGBR News.
Well, we've seen lots of sunshine across the area so far today. It looks like that'll continue for the afternoon with sunny skies and a cool northwest breeze. That'll hold our temperatures to about 45 to 50 degrees for highs. Tonight looks clear and cold. We'll have light winds and lows in the low to mid-20s. And for Wednesday, we'll see lots of sunshine again for the early part of the day. We will see mid and high-level clouds start to stream in from the north and west during the late afternoon and evening hours. High temperatures tomorrow not changing much, again about 45 to 50. I'm Mike Moss at the Weather Center.
You got the Rush Limbaugh program, the most listened to radio talk show on the air today. Little Vince Foster news here, ladies and gentlemen. You'll recall that during the president's acceptance remarks following the election last Tuesday night when he was in Little Rock, he said that he knew that from up above, Ron Brown and his mother looking down, smiling. But he did not say that Vince Foster, I noted this particularly, Vince Foster, he did not say was looking down from above, smiling. Don't know if that was a purposeful omission or he just forgot it in all the excitement. Well, there is late news here. A witness in the Vince Foster case has now filed a suit, a $1.5 million lawsuit. And in the lawsuit, he alleges that 2 FBI agents and 26 other people conspired to discourage him from testifying about what he saw in Fort Marcy Park, where Vince Foster's body was found. Patrick Knowlton is the man's name, says the FBI falsified information that he gave investigators and that he was harassed by people who followed him after his account in the Foster case became public. The lawsuit was filed under seal October 25th in U.S. District Court. It says that FBI agents and people who allegedly intimidated Knowlton conspired to violate his civil rights and inflicted emotional distress on him. Knowlton's lawyer, John Clark, said the suit be unsealed today. As you know, Starr and the Whitewater prosecutor team have been looking into this for the past 3 years. 2 investigations have been concluded, and they both said that Foster died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Others have postulated that Foster committed suicide somewhere else and was moved to Fort Marcy Park. And others say that he was not, well, that he didn't commit suicide. Patrick Knowlton says that he saw a car with Arkansas license plates that was not Foster's, some 700 feet from where Foster's body was found July 20th, 1993. Patrick Knowlton also said that he saw a suspicious-looking man in a parked car several spaces away from the car with Arkansas plates. Knowlton says he told all this to the FBI, but that the FBI's reports falsely suggest that the car he saw was Foster's and that he would be unable to recognize the man he says he saw. Oh, the plot. Well, the plot has always been thick in this, and one way or the other, they are going to get to the truth of this. It's a question of when. Wisniewski, Vermont. Mark, you're next on the Rush Limbaugh program. Hello.
Oh, Rush, Megadeus from the home of the socialist wacko.
Thank you, sir.
Hey,
that would be, you're talking about Bernie Sanders there,
Bernie
right?
Sanders, yeah. May have a conviction, though. Hey, do you think Clinton is laying the groundwork for Janet Reno to step down? You know, you've had a lot of aides kind of whispering that she's not welcome. It's starting to appear as headlines in some of the various papers. And
yeah, a lot of people are upset because Janet Reno was asked last Friday if she wants to stay on. She said, yes, I would love to if the president will have me. And the administration's upset because that supposedly put Bill Clinton in a box. Come on, supposedly put Bill Clinton in a box? He obviously would like for her to resign, and she doesn't want to resign, so now he's going to have, if he wants her out, he's going to have to fire her, which he doesn't want to have to do because of the appearances. So, but it's like he was asked about this in his press conference on Friday, and I'm going to reserve comment on any of these positions until I've had a chance to wake up and think about it. I slept till noon. The American people should know that. I was really working hard.
Well, if you're Clinton, wouldn't you be worried about her going out there talking to the press if she is kind of easily eased out?
No. You want a lawyer? No. I don't. No, she's not going to do that. Why would she do that?
Well,
if she's fired?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't hold out hope for that. When's the last attorney general? Look, Richard Nixon fired a bunch of a bunch of people like this. Did they all talk the minute they were let go? I don't think that that would happen. I mean, it would be fun if she did. Don't misunderstand. It's the kind of thing I wouldn't hold out a lot of hope for.
Yeah. Hey, one question before I go. On your bet there, remember when you were Clinton was first elected, you made $1 million bet to the Democratic Committee. How would you have done on that bet?
It would have been a wash. Because there were, I said 3 of these 5 things, and you could argue about, 2 of them have come true, you could argue about a third. But they never took the bet anyway. They didn't have the confidence at the time to take the bet anyway, so it's a moot point. But I would have been in probably a little trouble on that bet given my time frame. As I said, by 1995, and I think by 1995 I had a tough time winning that bet in 1995.
Great, appreciate it.
Okay, Mark, thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Here is Jerry in Houston. You're next, sir. Welcome to the program.
Ditto's Rush from Dole Country. You're a prince, sir. One of the most credible men that I know.
Well, you're very kind. Thank you very much.
We sincerely appreciate your thoughts on all the driving issues of our day, and there is one issue that we just really would like to know, especially here in the Houston, Texas area. We want to know what Mr. Rush Limbaugh thinks about Mr. Charles Barkley now playing for the Houston Rockets.
Well, I'm happy for Charles, because Charles wanted out of Phoenix. He felt he had been wronged, abused, disabused, and dissed, and wanted out of there, and so he's happy. Well, aren't the Houston Rockets and the Chicago Bulls the only two undefeated teams right now in the NBA?
As of today,
yeah, and they play tonight.
After tonight, the story will be different.
That story will be different. They play in Chicago, is that right?
They're playing right here in Houston.
They're playing at the Summit. They're playing.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm happy for Charles. He'd run his course in Phoenix. You know, he never said this, but the beginning of the downfall out there was when they got rid of Paul Westphal. Mm-hmm. He never said that publicly, but I'm sure that with the coaching changes and so forth, Charles has tumultuous relationships with a number of people, and I think he had a very good working relationship with Paul Westphal. And when Westphal left, I think Charles' relationship with the rest of the team changed somewhat. There may be things I don't know there, but he's happier now, obviously, in Houston.
Oh, Mr. Barkley has a big smile on his face every time he's in front of a camera, at least, that we can see. He's, I think he's going to take away the rebounding title from the other gentleman on the Bulls. But, Texans like to brag, and, hey, we're shooting for another world championship.
Well, remember, it ain't bragging if you can do it. That makes people really mad. Here's Rose in San Francisco. Welcome to the program.
Hi, Rush. Make a dittos.
Thank you very much.
I hope my parents are listening.
Good.
John and Mary, hi, and my sister out in Maryland, hi. I wanted to just say about Clinton's radio address how mad he was at the liquor industry that probably won't even get their ads on the air anyway. That he was angry with them because they were going to be exposing young people to the ills of liquor before they even get a chance to learn about it. And I thought, well, what about the condom ad? That you're exposing young people before they've even learned.
Well, there's a difference there, you see. We can stop kids from drinking.
Right.
And we can stop kids from smoking. But we can't stop kids from having sex. They're going to do it no matter what we do. That's the liberal line. That's the line of reasoning that Bill Clinton would certainly adopt.
Right.
We can stop them from smoking because we can educate them, because we care, because we love them, because we feel their pain. Mm-hmm. We can stop them from drowning their sorrows in adult beverages because we love them, because we care for them, because we feel their pain. But we can't stop them from having sex. Kids are going to do that, and we've just got to try to make it safe.
Right. Another point I wanted to make is I don't listen to network news because they give the watered-down version of the day's happenings. I listen to your program for all the political goings-on. As far as this Newt business, I think some of these so-called Republicans are just listening to the negative hype that some of these Democrats have put on with their campaign ads. One in particular here was Ellen Tauscher running against Bill Baker, the conservative. She was putting Newt pretty much in the light, well, as David Duke. Mm-hmm. Showing the picture, and it just reminded me, you're showing him as almost a Nazi. They're just running this negative, and well, people don't want to see the negative, as we all know, but they're running the negative. And I don't work for Newt, and I'm not going to go to Washington and work for Newt, but that's what he did.
Just keep in mind one thing: the Democrats did the same thing with Bill Clinton in 1994. Why? Self-interest. They want to get reelected, and. That's I got to say this. That's one thing to keep in mind about some of these new recruits in Washington. We were told the freshman class, these are the guys the founding fathers had in mind. They go up there and they're going to serve their time and then go back home to the print shop, to the auto mechanic business, whatever they have back there. But they're not career politicians. They're different guys. They want to go up there and fix the problems. Well, look what happened. They all want to be reelected, which I have no quarrel with. It's only their second term. But I'm just telling you that the political self-interest to get reelected is what's behind all of this. And don't anybody doubt it. I mean, it's just plainly obvious. And we got a quick break here. We'll be back with more in a moment, my friends. Don't go away.
You're listening to the EIB Network.
For a cold pill to dissolve when there's Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine, now in great tasting orange and new cherry. Its burst of effervescence means its strong medicine is ready to rush relief the instant you take it. So what are you waiting for? Get fast relief for your worst colds with Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine, now in great tasting orange and new cherry. Use as directed.
That's my friend Mike. He doesn't want to hear what I'm saying because, well, I'm talking about prostate health. There, I've said it. Sorry, Mike. But you know those frequent trips to the bathroom at night? Well, you should know about Propomex. Propomex is an all-natural supplement that supports prostate health. 2 Propomex a day, and in about 4 weeks, you'll start seeing results. That satisfaction guaranteed or money back, Mike. Propomex, the natural choice for prostate health at food, health, and drugstores. Learn more. Call 888-899-3000. You listening, Mike? Use as directed.
At Barnes Jewelers, it's the finest quality jewelry at money-saving prices. Now just in time for Christmas. Layaway with no interest. Let the hometown folks help you select the diamonds, gold, watches, our gift item at the lowest prices possible. Barnes Jewelers with the best repair service in Eastern Carolina at 502B Eastgate Drive, Goldsboro.
For special people, here's something special from Barnes Jewelers.
It's hard to stop a train. E.T. Farrell & Son of Mount Olive, your quality train dealer, has the Train XL 1200 high-efficiency gas pack. Designed, tested, and manufactured to last. The XL 1200 will run for years, regardless of the climate or weather. And the compressor is covered by Train's 10-year manufacturer's limited warranty, plus 20 years on the heat exchanger and 2 years on all parts and labor. So for reliable year-round comfort, call E.T. Farrell & Son, serving Eastern North Carolina for over 50 years. 658-2971.
Good day, Mr. Phelps. Here's a photograph of James Finch Chevrolet. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to take your team and pay a visit to James Finch Chevrolet, 400 West Main Street in Bailey, LBJ Chevrolet Buick in Nashville, and Finchwood Chevrolet in Roanoke. Check out the all-new Lumina, Monte Carlo, Corvette, Astro vans, S10 pickups, Blazers. They have them in stock. Chevrolet cars and trucks, used cars and program cars, and vans, even the new 97s.